Okay, I've been trying for about an hour and a half to get this next one done. Last thing I recorded was I Got You Babe. So a lot of music, that was in the middle of the 60s. So a lot's happened since then. And I want to go over a little bit of it and then I'm going to stop because there's so much. The next thing that I remember, which was a big deal in my world, was the Young Rascals came out with a song called Good Lovin'. I butchered it. But why this was a big deal is they were from North Jersey, all the guys in the band, and one guy, I believe he was the drummer, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. His grandmother lived in Garfield, and guess where? On Monroe Street. So his name was Eddie B. Bugatti, something like that. Anyway, my spelling's not great, so what us little girls thought we would do was walk past his grandmother's house and maybe we would see him. Okay, this is a long time ago. But it was this thing where we're going to walk past the house and then we're going to run. What was that? So good. A third person contact high? I'm not sure. His grandmother was never outside. I don't think I ever saw her. Maybe once when we're driving by with my parents, I looked down the outlet and somebody was sitting in her chair. That's it. It was a cement alleyway and people sat outside at night because there was no air conditioning. But we would walk by there. Several times we tried to see. What would we have said? What would we have said? Are you Eddie Bugatti's grandmother? Oh, I love him. No, we would never have. We would have ran. And we did run. So anyway, that was my interest in the Young Rascals Good Lovin'. Okay, so my memory of it is music was changing a lot back then. As it came out of the happy times and all the expressive times of the late 50s, early 60s. And because Kennedy died, this is my belief, is that there was a change. You could feel it in the ground. It was like earthquake sand underneath your feet. And even as a kid, I knew something was up. It was just weird. It was exciting, but it was weird. And then you had the Mamas and the Papas came out with a song called Monday, Monday, which was a very sad song, which kind of threw like the sugar, sugar, honey, honey people under the bus, because sugar, sugar, honey, honey is like they're in denial that there's anything really wrong happening and that the Vietnam War is not escalating. It is escalating. And every night on the news, like I said before, there'd be a ticker tape going across there. How many men died? How many men died? Every single night, like 6:30, Brinkley, Huntley, Brinkley, whatever, news would come on. And it was there. And you know, the country was changing and the music was starting to reflect that change. And any TV show, any documentary you watch on it will say pretty much like something similar to what I'm saying about their impressions of it. So you had that crowd starting to grow, starting to change, starting to feel things out. You had the Janis Joplin people. They were like kind of revolting against things. They saw it. They grew up idealistic, but then the ideals were gone. They were blew out of the water. Then you heard all these rumors about who shot Kennedy. And we still don't know. That's a mystery, and that's not a fun mystery. And then to go from that until another song came out called Wild Thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Are you kidding me? What? The earth was like, not, I don't know about the rest of the earth, but the United States music was going, whoa. I mean, turn up the amplifier. Crazy stuff. Then Light My Fire, a romance song, kind of dark. Okay. Now the Monkees came out. The Monkees, a bunch of guys thrown together to create a band. Some of them lip synced, and they came out with a song called I'm a Believer. I couldn't deceive her. I don't know, whatever. Don't quote me on all the lines. But they were over in the sugar, sugar part of the world. They didn't want to, like, touch anything, and it was a manufactured band just to get ratings on TV. And granted, the TV show was hysterical funny. I watched it, had the bubblegum cards, everything. Okay. Then you had RESPCT, find out what it means to me. Respect from Aretha. Hello. That community growing and growing and growing, and their discontent. So you had that going on. You had Vietnam going on. And then you had people in denial. The country was freaking nuts. And then over in Rome, in the Vatican, they changed everything. They changed everything. They changed all these rules, and a lot of people didn't realize it was starting to affect. And oh my gosh, it was just change everywhere. Like, how do people cope with that? Woo! Woo! Okay, and then you had the band that come out with The Age of Aquarius, and then hair, long, shining, beautiful hair. Okay, I think that came a little later, but it was that same thing. Like, those are the people that, like, they see what's going on, but they're checking out, okay? They're taking acid, and they're checking out, okay? So you had that crowd. You had the Aretha crowd. You had the people who are just not in contact with reality. And my family's busting up. My family at home was doing the same thing the world was doing. Coming apart like muscles being pulled. And I'm in the middle of it. The only thing I really had was my 7th and 8th grade teacher, Mr. Camfio. And I kind of looked up to him. That's all I had. That I went to school. My life was in school. And I had the music, which kind of reflected what was going on with me. But I'll talk more about that in the next one because we're getting close to the time limit here. Listen, music reflects what's going on. And it's happy music and sad music and it's expression music. And that's what we had in the 60s. And I'm going to continue